All right.
So today we're going to be talking about relationship and family questions.
Is the mic wide enough?
Okay, so the first question. In the past, I have discovered that when I'm in a relationship, sometimes I feel I love this person so much, and the next minute my feelings for them dies off. What is the cause of this?
Well, okay, sometimes you feel like in the past you feel like you're in a relationship and then all of a sudden you feel like your love is dying down for that person. What's the cause of this? Well, sometimes it depends. But usually I would not really call that love, because love is consistent. Love is unconditional. Love is not supposed to be something that goes up and come down. However, sometimes circumstances do affect, like your mood, your environment, and things that could affect how you're feeling at that time. But a real relationship is not the type that fluctuates. 1 minute it's high, another minute it's low. Because otherwise, when you are married, you will not be able to consistently love your wife, because love is all about consistency. You cannot say you love someone if you keep feeling on Monday you feel high and on Tuesday you feel low. That's not real love. So love has to be consistent. So I think the person needs to think about what is causing this and when that happens often. Because you need to check, you need to take a review of how often this happens and when it happens.
Second question.
Can I say something about that?
I think that's fine.
It's frustrating because they are immature to love. They are not ripe enough to talk about a relationship. Do you understand what I mean? The age of people we have here is one of the first question is what I'm talking about. You saying you think you love the person, and all of a sudden you don't love the person again. Pastor has never been in that kind of situation, so that's why that's why I'm trying to add up to that.
I think I'll support that. I think you guys focus on your goal.
Okay, yeah, we're going to come to that. I think that's a question that comes from. We're going to come to that. All right, next question. We're going to come to that.
When is the worst time to get into a relationship?
Great, so that will now answer the question. When is the worst time to get into a relationship? Number one, when you're immature. Now, there is a difference between being grown up and being mature. You can be grown up and you're not mature, because you don't yet know what love is and what it takes to love. A lot of you mistaking your hormones for love. Love is just like appetite. When you're hungry, you want to eat. But is it really necessary for you to eat? You can be hungry, but you don't need to eat. So all of this is connected to affection. Love is a commitment. It's not just a feeling, it's a commitment. You're committing yourself to do something. You're taking responsibility over another person's heart, another person's emotion. That's number one. The worst time to get into a relationship is when you're immature. Or number two, when you're irresponsible. Even if you claim you're immature and you're not responsible, you cannot love very well. Number three, when you have an exam. Some people love more when exams are starting the next day. They want to read, the guy is texting ping. They want to sleep, the guy is saying ping. It affects the performance. There are lots of girls and lots of boys who fail GCSE because of love. All in the name of love. That's number three. Number four. The worst time to get into a relationship when we're not prepared to get married. A lot of you dating, or if you're dating at all, know these very well. You're really not interested in getting married to that person. You're just trying to kill the time. It doesn't work that way. I'm really sorry to say this. It does not work that way. Relationship is not something you use. You don't play with people's emotions. I hope you know that. It's very, very sensitive. Number five, you don't get into a relationship with the same person who has the same issues with you. Father and mother, broken home, you're now dating someone with a broken home. Trust me, it will get broken. Because a lot of you have a lot of healing to go through, and you cannot heal yourself because you need more. So in other words, when you're ready to get married in the future, get married. If you're a girl who is naturally very cold and quiet, get married to someone who has the opposite of your character, who is jovial, who is lively. If you're someone who is always moody, get married to someone who is very happy. If you're someone who is always angry, get married to a calm person, so that the person you can adjust yourself. But do not try to fix things when you're married. Fix things before you get married. Next question.
Third question. What advice would you give to people in relationships now?
I will tell you to focus on your key responsibilities first. Relationships are not priorities. You have to focus on your school, you have to focus on your career, you have to focus on your dreams, because it's only when you have a vision. In fact, when God made Adam, the Bible says God first gave Adam a responsibility. It was while Adam was carrying out a responsibility that God now gave him Eve. So you see that everybody God gives a wife to in the Bible was always busy before he found a wife. But many of you want to find wives or find love before you get busy. It doesn't work that way. Any true responsible man or woman, first of all, gets busy before thinks about finding a relationship, because relationship is to assist you in your responsibility. You're not going to get married if you don't have a job. You have to first of all have a job so that your wife can help you out on it. So I advise you, number one, be responsible. Number two, those who are in a relationship, well, know what you're getting into. Because relationships can either make or break you. Who you let into your life does play a massive role in you. Yeah.
And also with that, I was going to say, with relationships, where there's no purpose, God isn't there. So that's why we should think about anyone that's in a relationship now. When there's no purpose, that's when the devil has a chance to come in and start doing bad things between you guys. When there's no purpose, and even friends or boyfriend and girlfriend, where there's no purpose, the devil has a chance to come in and attack, basically. Yeah.
Amen. That's good.
Fourth question. What is the cause of multiple person disorder? I think personality disorder.
Okay, multiple disorder. Well, the Bible says that the Spirit of God, God does not give us a spirit of fear and all that. He gives us a spirit of sound mind. I don't know what I mean by multiple person disorder. Meaning that 1 minute you're good, the next minute you're bad, the next minute you're a vampire, the next minute you're this. Is that what it means? I don't know what it means. What was that?
When within one person you have different characters. And
but that's what we're talking about, isn't it? It's the same thing. The 1 minute you're happy, the next minute you're angry.
No. It's 1 minute you identify as someone else, so you may have the physical
personality. Like you said, someone can be humble. So if you've watched Split, you've seen the man. 1 minute he's the devil.
But that's what I'm talking about, isn't it?
It's actually scary.
What is a different character? Tell me about it.
So I read one where this woman, she's a 35-year-old woman. Physically, she's a 35-year-old woman, and she's a 35-year-old woman, and then another chance, she's a 6-year-old girl, and then another chance, she's
That's all to do with personalities, isn't it? Multiple personalities, right? Yeah. What does personality entail? Your character as well. 1 minute you can be this very good person. Next 5 minutes you're this very bad person. The next minute you're very quiet. Next minute you're very loud. That's what it's also about, right? It's not just talking about a person and I don't behave. No, it's all about to do with personalities. However, if you're following that, you see that scriptures makes us understand that God does not give people different personalities or different spirit. When the Holy Spirit comes into you, the first thing is you start bearing the fruits of the Holy Spirit, which is love, joy, peace, patience, meekness, temperance, and all that. You discover that will give you a personality. A fixed personality. So if you're someone who is moody, the next minute you're happy, well, you need to pray and ask God to really feel the Holy Spirit, because anyone who is filled with the Holy Spirit does not and never ever has multiple personalities. It doesn't happen that way.
Okay, so I'm just reading what's actually written here, because someone doesn't read it, it's not really like spelled properly, but yeah. How do you tell someone you don't like them as much as they think or feel towards you? Brackets, I'm shy.
Well, I do understand. Sometimes that can happen. Someone can like you, someone can love you, and you don't love that person the way the person loves it. But I know this is mostly for guys, because there's something I want to say to the guys here. You need to be very careful of this habit called lead on. Lead on is a character where a guy is lingering around a girl. He's showing her signs of interest, buys her flowers, shows her nice gestures. Of course, women are naturally very emotional beings. And because of that, she starts to have a liking for this guy. And just all of a sudden, the guy starts giving distance. You're hurting the girl. Now, if you were not interested, don't start doing that. Yes, be nice to everyone, but you should be very careful not to play on people's emotions. Because it can affect, in fact, guys have actually caused harm and left girls without knowing the impact it's made on girls that left. So you should be very careful how you treat the people you meet. If you're not going to help a girl to achieve her dreams, don't come to her at all. If you're going to let her on, you make her feel like, because truly speaking, she had a lot of alternatives to choose on. So don't come and stand in our way and then you're distracting her and all of a sudden you don't have interest. Well, coming back to the question, how do you tell a girl you don't have love for them even though they love you and things like that? Well, there's a polite way to do it. Number one, don't lead them. And number two, well, don't make it a big deal. If you're making it a big deal, like everything she's doing, you're always channeling towards her direction. Because sometimes some girls are just naturally very nice. They're just naturally courteous. You just want to be natural friend. You don't misinterpret it. Like I said, a lot of people misinterpret. Maybe a girl just smiles at you and say, oh, she loves you. It doesn't mean anything. Some girls are just naturally nice. The girl is true. Am I right? Am I right? Sometimes a girl can just be.
You know, it's harsh, man.
Sometimes a girl can just be the jovial type. She just loves to play around. She just loves to talk. It doesn't mean she loves you. Don't be a show. Don't be a show-off bold. You think you're bragging because a girl winked at you, or she smiled at you, or she asked your number. You just start assuming things that she's in love with you. No, she might just be herself. It's a privilege, actually. Sorry, go to the next question.
Question 6. How do you know if someone is the right person for you to marry?
When you're responsible, and God always shows you signs. First of all, you have peace. In fact, all the fruits of the Holy Spirit, you will see them. Love. You feel loved. You feel joy. You feel peace. You feel patience. You feel. All of these fruits must be met. So if a guy has anger, definitely. I always tell girls, never you get married to a guy who has anger. You will never change in the marriage. Forget it. I'm being frank with you. Don't get married yet.
I was gonna say, you know, like when we speak about like love is patient, love is kind, love is this, and all these things. I just think now, like, say like you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, and you're a bit, I'm not sure about the person. If you put that person's name in front of all the love is kind, love
perfect.
Is if you're thinking, wait,
yeah,
Anthony's not patient, then it's not love. It's
very
not
correct, very correct. She's actually just answered the question. Yeah, that's good. All right, next question.
I think this question for you. Would you ever adopt kids if you never had any of your own?
Actually, I don't mind. I do love kids. I thought I'm very addicted to children. I don't know. Even when I have kids, I think I would adopt. Actually, I think I will adopt. I will adopt kids. I do love children a lot.
If you love someone and it's been almost, and I'm just saying, I'm reading it from what's said on here. If you love someone and it's been almost one year, and they began to change towards you, is it a bad sign or is it normal?
Well, you have to understand that in a relationship, there are people with different personalities. There are some people that are not these lovey-dovey types. Many of you enter into, why our sister was saying you're immature, is because some of you enter into relationships and you have a certain expectation. I call it an unrealistic expectation. You expect him to be perfect. You expect him to call you 10 times a day. You expect him to text you 10 times a day. Some people are not like that. There are people that they don't show affection, but they actually do love you. There's not a big person who keeps on saying, I love you, 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 I love you. Some people might, in fact, those that are quieter might turn out to be even those that show love the most. Some people are very affectionate. There are those that when they love you, they want to hold your hands on the street. They want to. Whilst the other person might not be like that, they might just be this lovey, quiet type. They don't like show it out and things like that. But you take it too personal. Oh, he hasn't texted me since morning. It means he doesn't care. You start to create a drama scene. The way you get to know if he or she loves you is if he shows up at the moment you need him the most. If the things that do matter, he shows up the most. Your parents don't always tell you, I love you, I love you, I love you. But when it comes to things of school, they ask you, have you read your books? Yeah. When it comes to you being out late, they tell you where you come from. That's what love shows itself the best. So don't depend on him texting you, or him calling you. Those are just, what is flashy things. It doesn't mean anything. A person can buy you flowers. It's a difference between care and love. Someone can show you care, but does not love you. I could buy you flowers and buy you a car. It doesn't mean I love you. It's just a way of bribing you to love you, liking me. But love shows itself best when you need it the most.
And also with that, I would say, because the person said, like, if they change towards you, one advice I always give my friends is be friends with that person first so that you know their character. So when you now force a relationship, you don't know the way they love you, you lot can actually just end up being really good friends. But because you've seen them as a boyfriend or a girlfriend, when they start acting how they usually are, you start seeing it as a bad sign or acting whatever because you didn't take time to become friends with that person first. So when you see these characteristics, you're confused. Be friends with your partners first.
Exactly. Just to add up again a little bit more with that, many of you don't understand that God classified different people in your lives. For example, there are some people that God designed just to be your mere friends, nothing more. There are others that God designed to be your neighbors, nothing more. There are those that God designed to be your best friend, nothing more. And there's only one person God designed to be your husband, who is supposedly supposed to be your dating, whatever it is. The problem with many of you is you take someone who is supposed to be your mere friend and make him your husband. Because of that, there's incompatibility issues. What a best friend can provide to your husband, what a mere friend can provide to you, a husband cannot do it. You need to know how to fit who fits in where. Not everyone who walks up to you on the street and gives you a handshake is supposed to be someone important in your life. There are people that just have to remain at the door. They don't have to come in. But the more of you, because someone just showed you a little bit of care, you don't care if the person is supposed to be your mere friend or not, you just give the person access to your heart. No. Is that alright? So learn to classify people. If someone is designed to be your mere friend, don't force a relationship on them. It will not work.
Where do you draw the line in a relationship?
When sin gets involved, one. When you have no purpose, like she said. You don't know where you're going to, you don't know why you're even in the relationship in the first place. You just got in there because of entertainment purposes. You can enter a relationship because you're a fan of someone. You could be a fan of a guy and then you end up dating him thinking because you love him. It's not, well, like she said, I'm not supposed to say this, I don't have experience in relationship, but however, well, I don't think I need to date to know these things. It's just, okay, I need to date. All right, that's anyways. Well, like I've said to you, you draw a line when sin gets involved, when it starts getting too personal. In reality, relationships don't take off from you. Relationship contributes to you. A real relationship is not the one that asks you for hugs, kisses, pecks, and things like that. Let me ask a question. Imagine if a guy met you, right? He likes you. You like him, of course. You click. And let's say you start dating. This guy does not ever say to you, hey, I want to see how you look when you're having a shower. He doesn't say things like that. He's never attempted to, to undress you or to do something fishy. And then you have another guy who dated you, and then before you know it, he starts saying, hey, turn around. Now, between these two guys, naturally speaking as a lady, which one would you have respect for the most?
The one that doesn't want to seem like
Exactly. Many of you guys get this wrong. You feel that every guy loves experience. Joseph is not comfortable with this. Listen, every girl, wait. Sorry?
He said girls will go for the bad guys.
Oh yeah, I'll come to that.
According to society.
Oh yeah. Okay, wait. Listen. Joseph said, wait. Can someone regulate the noise going on? Joseph said, girls go for the bad guys. And I've heard this all my life. In fact, I've actually had people say that to me. That you will never date or marry because you just opposite the bad guy and girls like the bad guys. Okay, no problem. That's fine. Fair enough. However, the bad guys always feel best when it's his boyfriend, girlfriend jokes. The good guys always win at the end. When you as a girl has gone around jumping around with the bad guys, at the end of the day you celebrate a good guy who will be with you in times of HIV, who will be in times of you with single mom, who will be in times of you with trial and tribulation. The good guys always win. Every girl naturally is attracted to a guy who respects her. No matter how bad she is. Every girl, remember once my friend, that was my schoolmate, said to me that, to be honest with you, if I was to choose a husband, I would never choose you. And I said, why? She said, because you're a nice guy. I don't like nice guys. You're too good. You're too nice. And that puzzled me because I heard that from 1, 2, 3, about almost 6, 7 different people during years. Girls say that to me. And I went to God and I told God about this. I said, well, I told you originally I didn't want to get married. I wanted to be a priest. And you said I should get married. Now all the girls are saying they don't like the good guys. Now what am I going to do? Because I don't know who to start from. And no girls seem to like me. Some say I'm very ugly, some say I'm this, some say that they gave me all these things. And God said to me, said, I will give you something which others don't have. I'll give you the character, I'll give you the respect, I'll give you the honor to retain and keep a happy home. That was the covenant God made with me. Now, that is what the girls will be looking for, but it will not be found in the handsome guy. Get the point? So if you're looking for a man, look for a man who has a quality, the character, what it takes to be. Because at the end of the day, you want to be in a house with someone where you can get up in the morning, you're smiling, you're good. You're not forcing, I don't know if you're not forcing love. You know, there's something called force love. You're forcing love, you're forcing it. It's when you see your husband, you're smiling, you're just, the house is just in a good way. So leave that concept you're talking about, girls like bad guys. I don't think what you should say is the bad girls like bad guys, and the good girls like good guys.
Also, can I just say something? Like, with that, there's also like advice I've given other people is that your boyfriend, I want you to highlight the word friend, doesn't need to see your nakedness. He doesn't need to have sex with you. Your husband.
They know. They're just pretending they know.
No, some people feel like they need to.
They know these things. They know. They're just pretending.
Yeah, your boyfriend doesn't need to see that. So don't be.
All right, next question. Let's go there.
Sorry, I wanted to say, yeah, you know some guys, I don't know if this is the mindset that Joseph has, but some guys will say stuff like that, like they'll think that girls will want to show themselves to you, as in, you know, like the girls that actually like you, it's like, I like you, so I want to show myself to you. Like, girls that do that are very stupid. Number one, because for you to be thinking in that way, it's like you don't really know where you're going. Like, for me, like, even it's just what you just said, like, for a guy to respect you and not want to see you, some girls will think, wait, he doesn't want to see me naked, what does that mean? Like, he doesn't fancy me enough, and those kind of girls are
does that really happen? Are they girls like that?
That makes other guys think that it's normal. It makes other guys think it's normal.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay, let's see what Pastor goes.
No, she hasn't finished.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
and then, like, yeah, so some girls be thinking, wait, he doesn't like me enough, maybe he's even gay, why is he not want to see my body? Some girls are like, but guys that now see that and think that that's all right, they need to realize that the girls that say things like that and have that mindset, they're very insecure because they need the guy to see them for them to say, your body's this, They're insecure. Like, for me to have to show my body to someone, something's wrong with me inside. Like, I should be fine within myself.
That's amazing. Clap for her for that. Let's hear from Pastor Godwin.
What she said, yeah, basically what
I said, Pastor Godwin. You're going to say something bad. Yes, Pastor Godwin.
Okay, let me say something. When I was in secondary school, I was the president of a press club. In the secondary school, we have clubs, so I was the president of my own press club. And what we used to do, we used to go to different schools to hold meetings. And then all the boys would try to touch up properly, because if you go to a girls' school, and some of the best girls' schools, the most pretty girls, you have to show that you are, you know, who you are. And what we realized is that the boys' schools, some of the boys' schools, those guys, when they are coming, they don't mind what it takes to get it, to steal their father's car, dress up nicely. We used to do our hair, Jerry Coy and other things. So when we go there, we realize something. Some of us were the losers. Because those bad boys, when they come in with the ride, when they come in with their hair coiled, all these girls want to trip with them. And then they were looking at us and saying, some of us are you don't have the kind of money these guys have. And I realized something. I said, oh, is it how life? Is this how I was growing up like you, and I was wondering, is this how life really is? So does it mean the bad guys win? But I had to use my own brain. I realized that the bad girls go with the bad guys. And the good girl, when I was going to get married, I'll tell you this, in university I was going to my wife's room and I was going to another girl's room and I was studying both of them. I realized the other girl, when I go there, listen, because she's a bad girl, the bad guys are there. When I go to my wife's room, my Korean wife's room, she's always there alone, doing her thing, doing what a reasonable girl should do. So if you always feel the bad guy should win in a relationship, you will end up marrying a bad guy, and that relationship will just be bad. And you will start praying all your life.
Okay, that's wonderful. Clap for him. Okay, let's get with Joseph. We need to be quick because okay, let's get from Joseph. Let's hear what Joseph
said. Obviously, what I was saying, he asked the question: would you go for the guy that asks for, like, to see whatever way, or for the guy that don't even look at you at all? Most of the time, like she said, girls go for, like, if the guy don't ask you, look at you in a certain way, you're gonna feel like what is not attracted to what you said, which most women think like that. I'm not saying it's right, but I just say that's what most women think. So when she's told me, when she basically said she would go for the guy that don't ask no question, it's a bit weird. You know why I said it's a bit weird? Because basically, when a relationship comes with attraction, obviously, I'm not saying he has to go fully in, but you should see some signs that, oh yeah, he's attracted to me.
If he's my boyfriend, he doesn't need to see any of that.
He's not asking to see none of that.
Joseph, can you just hold on for a second? Sorry, I hope I'm not disrespectful. Are you trying to say, I don't want to misquote you. I want to get it right. Are you trying to say, in fact, stand up, let me see properly.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say the guy has to see some signs of attraction by seeing the girl?
No, I know what you're trying to say. I'm not saying that. That, but obviously you should see.
No, wait. I want to hear the bet, obviously. I want to get to where you're at.
I'll see that actually with my clothes on.
Yeah, you see.
I want to get his point.
Okay, like with your clothes on, you could say, oh yeah, you look nice. That's attraction there. But if the guy's just there and you look nice and just there, like, how would you?
No, wait, Joseph. We were not talking about it being against a guy being attracted to a girl. Wait, that's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about a guy having to see a girl's nakedness.
Oh, that's different though.
Okay, fine, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I thought you were trying to say that he has to see. Okay, that's fine, okay. Next question.
If you get married or your husband is violent, can you divorce him?
No, obviously not. Because the Bible prohibits, and in fact Jesus said it many times, said, whosoever shall put away his wife, except for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. And whosoever is married to her that's divorced, commits adultery. Now, I know some men can be violent. What I would say is, if your husband, I pray it never happens, your husband is violent to you, you can run away for safety, but you have to remain unmarried and come back when he's changed. Is that okay? In fact, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 actually makes it very clear. If your husband is separate from you, you have to remain single, because as long as he's alive, you cannot marry another man. So people get it wrong. So in respect to him beating you or something, you see your husband, whether it's in an occultist, you see your husband. You cannot divorce. The only chance is if he goes ahead to commit adultery, then you have rooms for that. But in God's eyes, you cannot divorce your husband. Even if he's violent, even if he beats you up, run away, get shelter, but come back. Next question. I'll come to that.
Why does sex affect us young people?
Sex does not affect you. It's lust that affects you. Sex does not come first. It's lust that comes first. If you handle your lust, you will handle the sex bit. Sex is not a sin, but as long as it's done within the content of marriage. Sex is just an appetite like hunger. You can feel like eating, but you don't eat. It's connected to appetite. You can control, but if you control, like when you're fasting, all you're basically doing is controlling your appetite. You see the food, but you can't eat it. So, in the same way, sex is not a problem. You don't have a problem with sex. It's actually not a problem. It is you to control your appetite. Take your mind from it. Stop thinking about it. Stop inciting yourself unnecessarily. Some of you tempt yourself. the temptation doesn't even come. You go and look for it. You just get on one morning, just go on Instagram, you're looking at models, 6 apps, you're looking at their chest on the beach. You're tempting yourself. Even when it suddenly comes to tempt you, just start to tempt yourself. So sex is not your problem, lust is your problem. If you deal with it, mind what comes into your mind. And mind what you watch, and mind what you listen to. Because you can also have audio pornography. What I mean is your friends who come around and talking dirty jokes, that's audio pornography. You might not watch it, but you'll listen to it.
I think it's a question for you. What would be your gift to me when I get married?
6 cows. I don't know who asked the question, but
6 cows and 2 goats, uncle. Sorry? They want 6 cows and 2 goats.
6 cows and 2 goats. Is that what I wrote down? Okay. I don't know what kind of question, but it's okay. I don't know. Wait.
Move on to the next question.
I don't know. No, we have to respect. It's a question people ask, and we have to respect it. Well, I don't know who asked it, but however, it's fair enough. If I'm privileged to be at your wedding, I'll get something. Gifts I'll just try to make sure I don't get an expensive gift more than your husband's own. Otherwise, Next question.
Is kissing and hugging allowed in a relationship?
Not allowed at all. Those are inciting things. Those are things that are incite lust.
This question, we already know it is, but is masturbation a sin?
Not many people know it is. It's actually a sin because again, that's self-gratification. It's in order for that to happen, you need to think on an image. You need to meditate on an image. And you will not be meditating on an image of another person's nakedness, and you say that's not a sin. So that's absolutely a sin. There's no way around it. It's a fact.
Do you love?
Me?
Yeah.
Not. I mean, when Jesus was leaving the world, he gave a commandment. John chapter 13, verse 34 rather. Says, I give unto you a new commandment that you love one another, even as I loved you. So love you one another. John 13:35 says, by this shall all men know that you are my disciple indeed, if you love one another. John 15:12, love one another. John 15:17, love one another. Romans chapter 13, verse 8, love one another. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2, love one another. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 9, love one another. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 23, love one another. 1 John chapter 3, verse 11, love one another. 1 John chapter 4, verse 7, love one another. 1 John chapter 4, verse 11, love one another. Romans chapter 10, verse 24, love one another. No, sorry, Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24, love one another. So, I can love. I can love.
Are Christians allowed to use contraception?
Well, that's a very difficult question. The reason being because not a good question. It's a good question, but not a good question. I can't answer that question because I'm talking to you teenagers. If it's in terms of as a marriage, in a marriage sense or marriage lighting, that's completely different. I'm not an expert in that actually. I've never touched or used any. I think our mom would be the best to answer that better. I will not permit her to answer it because it's not a question for you to even be thinking about. I'll pass it on. No. We can't be talking about contraception now. You're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. No, wait, no. Angela, please, can you regulate the noise?
You look hush. It's not enough. No, but it's so quiet. You lot should have respect, man. And nip it in.
Contraception is not a topic which I'm an expert in. If you were a married couple, I would get our mom to speak on you in that light. But because you're all children, if you're using contraception when you're not married, or whether you're not married or not, I don't know when it's right to use it because I don't even think about that. That's the problem. You're single children. You shouldn't be thinking about that. If you're using contraception, you're not married. That's still fornication. So whether you use it or not use it, you can't be asking if it's right for Christians to use contraception. However, if in terms of marriage, I think the nurses would, I don't know about, honestly speaking, it's not I'm not an expert in it. So, Pastor Godwin, give us.
In schools at the moment, they are teaching these children how to hide certain things from their parents. Yeah, that's why it's very important. They tell them they can have an abortion without their parents knowing about it. They tell them how to use contraceptions, and then they don't need to let their parents know. So you can see where that question is coming from. So the society we live in is actually corrupting our children while we are sleeping at home thinking everything is fine. I was school today, it's fine, it's fine.
You can go to the nurse and the nurse will discuss with you and she will tell you your mum doesn't need to know, your parents don't need to know. She'll give you condoms.
Okay, I completely, he's perfect, very correct in what he's saying. But however, I'm answering in
Okay, let me finish. So as a Christian, you need to be clear to your nurse. I'm a Christian, we're not allowed all this. And then you say, I will even discuss it with my parents. You know? So we should let our own people know these things.
Why
the moment they teach them about contraception, they are encouraging them to start having sex.
Yeah. Boys are scared of being bad.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm talking about.
They want to have sex, but they're scared of being bad.
If you're not going to have that, why would you even think of contraception? That's why I said if you were married couples, that would be completely different. Probably I'll get one of the nurses to talk and enlighten you on different. If it's birth control, birth control is different from contraception. You might be using contraception in the sense of trying to fornicate and things like that. But if you're married, it's very. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not. If I don't know, I don't know. I don't know. It's not my field. However, I would jump that question, but I would tell you in the Christian life, you're not supposed to use it. Because you're not married.
Well, if you're married, that's the question.
You're not married yet, so I'm not necessarily saying you're not married. No.
When it's time to ask questions,
When you're married.
that's long suffering.
Okay.
When you are married, as a Christian couple, it's between you and your husband.
To decide. Perfect.
Okay,
Okay, that's it. So when you're married, we will have a better setting to answer the question. For now, contraception to you is a sin for now, and now. And I want to say something to you. Even as a Christian or an unbeliever, whether you use contraception or not, whatever you use as a method of contraception, whether you use whatever it is, the most I've heard of is the most common. I don't even like calling the name actually. Well, you the guy you use it.
Let's just move.
Okay, how do you not let things?
I was gonna say something. No, what I was trying to say is this: when you fornicate and if you use this contraception, demons do collect whatever you've sent out or whatever it is. You need to think about the spiritual consequences of it as well. We're not just talking about physical, not getting pregnant. What if you just end at the level of being pregnant? But what about what you've removed from your body? What has it been done? What has happened to it? You get a point? They're not quiet. All right, go ahead.
How do you not let things that people say not affect you?
How do you not let what people say? People are basically opinion givers. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of exercise with you now. Every one of you, get your phones out. Get your phones out. Go on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, for those of you who don't have data, get on YouTube. Just open YouTube. When you're there, any video channels, get on it. Any YouTube. Are you there? Are you there? Okay. Click on any video. And it starts to let it pause it. Any video and pause it. Now, look down on the dislike button. Do you notice that every video there has a dislike? Yeah. Every video. What does that tell you? Every one of you in life will have somebody or people that don't like you. No matter how good your life is, no matter how good your content is, there's always going to be a thumbs down. Now, most people will give you thumbs down, not because you are bad or you don't have good quality. It's just the nature of giving thumbs down. When they criticize you, it's not because something's wrong with you. In fact, most criticisms are based out of jealousy, are based on a competitive spirit. People say things not because they really know it's going to help you. They just say things because they want to bring you down. Not letting people say things that will bother you is up to you. If you allow people are saying to keep on annoying you, you will never attain the life that God has set for you. Out of 100% of people you meet every day, 25% don't love you and will never love you. No matter what you do or don't do, they're never going to like you. The other 25% do like you, don't like you rather, but can change and start liking you. The other 25% do like you, but can stop liking you as time goes on. And the remaining 25% love you, no matter what you do or don't do, they're always going to love you. Now, stop focusing on the first three categories of people. Focus more on the 25% of people that will always love you. So no matter what people say to you, no matter how harsh they speak, don't change your life to fit people's lives. You got to believe in yourself and move forward. Amen.
Amen. Okay, I have a friend who is dating the husband of someone else, and even after talking to her, she still continues.
Hey, you lot harsh.
Because we want to go, but I'm not going to speak if we're going to talk. Even after talking to her, she still continues to persist and says the guy is the one for her. How can I help her?
You have to know that dating somebody's husband is a very risky and a very bad thing to do. It's an abomination, actually. You are breaking the union. In fact, you're breaking generations. You're teaching the man unfaithfulness. You're committing fornication. You're also bringing the children under a curse. Because the children of that man you're actually destroying someone's home. And the Bible says in Proverbs 6 that there are 6 things God hates. The 7th is an abomination to the Lord. And the 7th is someone who sows discord among brethren. When you get into someone's family, and even if the man is following you up, you have every right to denounce it. You have every right to cancel the relationship. I know people like that who date someone's husband. It's an abomination. And as a girl, you should never, hello? Hi. You should never, ever be guilty of dating the husband of someone. Not even say husband, let's say fiance. Once you hear someone is engaged, don't even go there. Even if he's showing you care, don't take anything from him. Don't even accept any offers. Just reject it. You should never be guilty of hanging or lingering around someone's property. Is that okay?
We even have stuff now that are promoting stuff like that, like City Girls. You're promoting girls to steal from people's husbands, to like finesse. I mean, like the man will be buying girls things, taking them out, spending money on them. This is someone's husband, and you can even see the man has kids, but he's your trick, he's your finesse, or you're finessing him. That's what
your assistant pastor. That's Pastor Godwin.
The worst thing that's happening in Nigeria right now is that they promote side chicks. They call it side
chicks. Really? They
joke about it in their shows, in their comedian. Oh, the side chick. Even Christian men see it as almost normal now. And some women are even saying to make your husband happy, let him have a side chick.
Abomination.
So women will get to 40 and they'll come here and start praying for them and die, saying that their father is a witch. When they had the opportunity to get married, they were wasting that years dating a sugar daddy or whatever they call it, dating somebody else's husband. And God, the blessing that they would have received at that time, it will pass. And when it's gone, it's gone. There's nothing that can bring it back. That's why some prayer you pray, you just pray for nothing. Because you have lose the opportunity.
Now I love it when a married man is giving you first hand advice. You have to wait.
Sorry for girls who think it's a nice thing to do to date somebody. You are just killing yourself. That's why some of our aunties and mummies today, there's nothing.
But not all. There are good women who are not. Thank you very much for that. God bless you. Okay.
Is it right for one to carry the baby of another person if they can't conceive a child of their own?
This is called surrogate, right? Yeah. All right. Absolutely not. I know the world is going to stone me with this. They'll be like, yeah, if you can't carry a baby, why can someone carry a baby? I'll explain something to you. That is a legal form of adultery. Yes. When you take a man's seed of life and put it in another woman you're literally, even though you claim, oh, they took the egg from this and took the seed of life from this and put in the woman, she just carried. That's actually, you're bringing in three people. Why? Number one, I'll explain to you. The child is growing under another person's condition. So it's like three people merging to give birth to one child. So the child now has different, you know, genes and things like that. That's why I said, these are the things that, that's why I said to you many years ago, no, many months ago, that these are the things that lead to science gone bad. You start finding children being born with medical conditions. You think it's because all these diseases that come up nowadays that have no source or no cure. It's this source of things. Science trying to play experiments. And the problem is this, we all have DNAs, we all have genes. They are coded. Once a gene or a DNA starts getting the wrong code, it starts to affect generations. That's why children are being born, children are being born, children are being born. Generations going over and over. Children are born, some are born in this condition, some are born in those conditions. It all came from these sorts of things. It's not supposed to be so. The Bible says that every gift comes, every good and perfect gift comes from the Lord. So if a child is born with a certain condition, it's not an spirit. There's nowhere in the Bible where the Bible says that the child was born with a certain condition. It's only the son of Jonathan, who is the grandson of King Saul, who was born and he was lame. We don't know what caused that. We don't know if it was an accident or something like that, but it's not supposed to be that way. So for a woman to carry a baby of another person, it might look okay, but most of them do that for financial gain, because they want to be paid. For example, you have an American celebrity who gave birth to, I think, most of our children through surrogate. Her first child, we know because of her complications. She had complications after her first. That's to tell you, beauty, you might be beautiful, but you don't have, you know, you don't have the capacity to well, we're not going to walk about it. We know that hers was a medical condition. However, I'm saying that to you, it is wrong. If you don't have children, depend on God that God's going to give you children. He's more than capable of doing it. Sarah gave birth at the age of 90. Yeah, next question. Time.
Is it wrong for married couples to watch sex? No, sorry, to watch porn.
Yeah, it's very wrong. It's always been very wrong. Whether you're married, whether you're a grandfather or grandmother, it's still very wrong to watch. Because you're basically, listen, the nakedness of another person is extremely very powerful. For God to have covered Adam and Eve, that's to tell you how powerful somebody's body is. Just, you know, I'm not even just talking about boy and girl. I'm talking even about a guy seeing another guy's nakedness is extremely very sensitive. You don't see, it is, I don't know how I can explain. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. Seeing somebody else's nakedness and people watching, doing things naked and they're filming it and putting it on the whole world to see, it's a shame. The Bible calls it's an abomination. In fact, you read the Bible in the Old Testament, all those things were mostly associated with pagan idol worship, which is one of the reasons why God said a man should not put on that which pertains to a woman should not put on. Because in the olden times, what has happened is this. The men will dress, the Egyptians had the habit of doing that. The guys would dress like a woman and they'll go and enter into the female camp and start raping them or abusing them. They'll dress like a woman, like they started doing this transgender kind of things. They'll dress like a drag queen or something. So the girls go, oh, that's a girl. Then they come in, transform into a man, and then they do what they have to do. So you see that all these things is one of the reasons why God said a man should not put on that which pertains to a woman, because he wanted to avoid such practices. So it's very wrong. I'm going to come. Questions we have to run on.
I do my best to love people, but sometimes it seems people don't love me back, and this seems to really hurt me.
Stop expecting people to love you. People cannot give you what they don't have. Sometimes you expect love from people when they don't even have enough to give you. There are people that were born in broken homes. They've not really received what love is. They don't know they don't have an experience of what love is about. And so they are not capable of giving to you. So when you meet people like this, you need to understand where they're coming from. In fact, before you date someone, you need to know a bit of history about the person's family background, your upbringing. How are your relationship with your dad? How did you relate to your mom? Then you can know what to give to them. Some might be the needy, they need the pamper, they need the cuddle. Some girls are like, some guys are like that. So if you can't supply that, if you're not the kind of person who can give the affection, well, I would not advise you to go and get married to a girl who's always, because you're always crying. You want to go to work, oh, you didn't give me a hug. You can give her, when you enter the car, oh, you didn't give me another hug. So that girls like that. So you should understand different people are different. Some are very affectionate, some are very quiet, they don't know how to express themselves. So it's up to you to choose.
Is it right for the women to do all the house chores?
Absolutely very wrong. It's very wrong. I'm talking to the guys now. You should know this and know this very well. It's a very bad attitude to let your wife do everything. Your wife is carrying your children for 9 months. She's giving birth to a child. The child wakes up at night. You know when children are born, you have a unique timetable. They can wake up midnight and cry. The lady has to get up, wash the baby, put her to sleep. Whilst the man is snoring. She gets in the morning, she has to go and wash the dishes. She has to mop the floor. When the children start going to school, she has to take the children. Come on, man. Come on, be a man. What does a real man do? A real man comes back from work. He sees his wife tired. He tells her, don't worry, I will help cook the food. Justin, what are you doing? He finishes up. That's a real man. Number 2, he wakes up. He comes back in the night. The baby starts to cry. He tells his wife, I'm sorry about that. You take your sleep. I'll take the baby. He carries the baby to the living room, puts the baby on his chest and sleeps while the wife has a night rest. That's what a man is supposed to be like. You wake up in the morning, you see the dishes dirty, don't start picking your wife, just do it. Listen, let me tell you a secret as a guy. If you want your wife to love you the most, do things she does not expect you to do. You know what Jesus said? He said, my Father loves me, for I always do those things that please the Father. When you're a godly man, God automatically makes you do the things that please your wife. You wake up in the morning, you see that your wife hasn't, something is messed up, you just help her arrange it. Your wife was supposed to go to the market to do shopping, she's late, she's at work, she's tired, she's not straight. You get up, go and do the shopping for her. When she comes back home, oh, my husband, you did all the shopping for me. Oh, that's fine, I knew you were going to be tired. Tell me which kind of marine woman will not love you? No, I mean, just imagine it. Your wife is so tired, she's coming back from the office at 7:30 in the evening, she knows I have to go back home and cook for the kids. But by the time she gets back home, Mr. Husband has made dinner for the kids, is sitting down just waiting for the mom to. Tell me what woman would say no to such a man? No, be very honest. Girls, am I lying?
I pray that we all find someone like that in our life.
Is that the kind of husband he wants? Exactly. He removes the responsibility from you. We're not saying as a woman don't do your job. We're just saying that is what a man has to be like. You assist your wife. You're there with her. She wants to go shopping, you go along with her. You can't. I don't allow women carrying bags around me. If you see a girl carrying a bag or a woman carrying a bag, and she's carrying it because she insists on carrying it back, but naturally I used to open the door for my sister. I opened the door for her, carry her back, and my sister actually told me once that Elvis, to be honest with you, if you're not my brother, I would have gotten married to you.
No, but you knew what she meant.
And the funniest thing, I understood what she meant. The funniest thing is, my sister's husband's profile matches mine exactly the same way. He's very calm, he's very gentle, she picked on that profile. So, don't tell me it's a woman's job to do this, it's a woman's job to do that. That's an old tradition.
My mother sometimes complains and gets angry at my dad over everything he does. It wasn't so at the beginning. Is it possible for them to work things out?
Your mom is always angry at your dad. Well, your dad has to find out what has changed. Because sometimes women are like babies, they cry. When a baby is crying, a good mother does not beat the baby. The good mother tries to find out, why is the baby crying? Maybe the baby is hungry, maybe the baby has weed, maybe the baby needs a change of nappy, maybe the baby needs to have a shower. Am I lying, moms? Where's mommy? Am I lying? Babies have very own, they cry, that's the way they talk. Sometimes when you see a woman who keeps nagging and nagging and nagging, there is something she's trying to pass across. And because men are not good listeners. They don't listen. They don't listen. A man, you might not have a job, but all your wife needs to hear is for you to sit her down and say, my wife, I want to talk to you. I know you've been very, very responsible. You've been very supportive. You've been the only one working. I'm very sorry you've been carrying all the responsibility alone. But I want you to be very patient with me. I actually just applied for a job last week, and I'm hoping by the grace of God, I'll get the job and things are going to be better. If you speak to your wife this way, she will never complain of carrying the load all alone. Most women get angry because men do not appreciate. Trust me. Most, am I right?
You're right.
Most women get angry. If you hear a woman who always shouts every time was angry at her husband, you'll notice that either he's not taking responsibility of doing something he's supposed to do. Trust me, women don't just talk. There's no such. I know women are bad, right? Some women are bad, but I'm telling you, majority of women are not bad. They just need a man who will listen to them. When she's crying and complaining, sometimes all he needs, the man just needs to just listen on how to settle. Okay, I think we spend a lot of money on entertainment. We need to cut down. We can save money on this. Just doing those little things, like something gets by in the house, like the man just does it, do it yourself. All those things can stop a lot of noise. But you have to let the woman change. It's in this generation I see women more in the lawn, and there's a man in the house. The bulb is bad. The wife has to go and buy and put. And there's a man. Come on, that's what she needs. So she needs to find out. I think that will go to the man. He needs to find out what has changed. If she said it was not so from the beginning, it means there's something he needs to do that he stopped doing it.
Uncle, I know the Bible says we should be tolerant and forgiving, but I see my parents fight all the time, and my dad lashes out back at my mum. I try to picture how godly men should act towards their wives, but it seems so hard. Can you demonstrate how a tolerant man should act, or how God expects his servants to act towards their spouses?
You're using it as an experiment. How do I demonstrate how to?
Just say it.
There's no wife here to show. What am I? How am I going to demonstrate that? How do you want me to demonstrate it?
There's no time to drama.
There's no time. Anyway, that just goes back to the previous question. If I answered yourself, if you walk to the wife, even when you walk into the room and you catch your wife with a man on another bed, on the bed, it's very easy for you to lash out and start fighting him. A proper godly man will walk into his room and see his wife and another man on the bed and say, "Oh, okay, all right."
I'm sorry.
Now, I'll tell you why. When a man sees, so we're rounding up in 5 minutes. When a man catches you in an act, there's a natural guilt that comes into the woman. She believes the man is going to pounce and start fighting and start beating her. But when you act oppositely, when you act in an opposite manner, the woman becomes insecure, she's afraid. The best way to beat a woman is by giving her a guilty conscience. I know some women are very hardened-hearted. They call it a wound, they're iron-hearted, they don't care. But however, I will not advise you to start fighting on your wife and things like that. Just walk away, do other things. She comes back in the evening, she's like, "Honey, I want to explain." She said, "Oh yeah, where's my son? I want to, how are you? How was your day? Are you okay?" Just keep dodging around the question. It's gonna kill her. It's gonna kill her silently. Amen. I don't know what other way you wanted me to demonstrate, but I think that's the easiest way.
Is it possible for there to be a perfect relationship?
Absolutely. It's very possible to have a perfect relationship. How many of you believe that? Yeah, some people's hands are no, they don't believe in perfect relationship. They believe that couples must always fight and quarrel. Well, it all comes down to who you marry. I've always said this thing many times, it depends on who you marry. If you marry a person who does not believe in that, you will always have issues in your marriage. Now, being a perfect marriage does not mean that you're not going to have issues, but the issues should come from outside, not from inside. For example, you can say the landlord asks us to pay rent. That's an issue, that's an external problem. But it should not be the one that comes from inside your home, where you're complaining, my husband is doing, my husband is doing, my husband is... You need to know that good husbands come from God. Yeah, how come to? Because we have so many questions. What number is that?
26. What are the things which are missing in today's families?
Communication. You rarely see husbands and wives talking nowadays. It's very rare, right?
Yeah. As a man, what advice can you give to future men who aspire to marry?
Grow up.
If one of my parents is committing adultery, can it affect me as a child?
Absolutely. If your dad is having affairs, obviously it's going to affect you. It's a fact. It's a fact. It will definitely affect you.
Is it wrong to abort a baby that was conceived through rape?
You should ask, is it wrong to abort? Well, let's go to the question. Is it wrong to abort a baby who was conceived through rape? Yes, I know getting a baby through rape is never a pleasant experience, but I would never say abort the child. First of all, you've killed. Secondly, the child is innocent. It's not the child's fault. Am I right, Pastor Godwin? It's not the child's fault. And sometimes, even though a child might be born out of via rape, the child can come out to be a blessing. There are many children that have come out today to be exceptionally great, but they were born through, very out of wedlock. So do not feel that do not feel that the child. Okay, thank you. Okay, no, don't worry. Just don't feel that the child.
No, take the mic.
Okay, I'll use this one. Right. Okay, so don't feel. I think this one is clearer.
Yeah.
Don't feel that is because the child is born out of rape, it means that the child is bad, should be aborted and things. And no, I know there's always that shame of saying, oh, I don't know who the father is. They don't feel that way. So I think it's very wrong to abort.
Is it wrong to date or to marry a school teacher or someone who's way older than you?
Wow, that's a very tricky question. I think I would turn. Where's mom? Where's she? She's gone out. Okay, Pastor. I wanted to ask from. Well, let me ask the girls. Let me throw the questions back to you. What's the average age gap you think is fair?
It depends, because the older you get, the wider it can get. No.
What's the average age gap you think? How far? I'm not for you now. Unless.
So with this topic, a lot of girls, because I've been one of those girls, I thought that being with an older guy will allow me to have more, be responsible. People will look up to me because I'm with someone older. But what I realise is that it's not all guys, but most of them, they see your vulnerability and take advantage of you because you're younger than them. So,
but the question is saying that is it marrying a school teacher or something like that? Is it wrong? Or whatever. So let's say your teacher is 30, your maths teacher is 30, and you are 21 or so.
15.
No, not 15. That is 21. Let's say 21. You're 21, your school teacher is 9 years older than you. Is it wrong?
I think before we answer the question, we should look at the life of the French president, the president of France.
Yeah?
He got married to his music
Teacher, yeah. Older than him.
And the first son of that lady is, I think, his age mate. Now, the reason why I brought that as an example is because marriage sometimes doesn't really depend on age.
Yeah.
What is the happiness you're going to derive? Is that person meant for you? That's another thing. But having said that, I wouldn't want you to now say it's okay to go and marry a 70-year-old man and then expect to
okay,
comfortable.
Pastor Gombe, what is the average age that is
okay,
you can say fair enough?
When I was growing up, let me tell you what I thought about in life. I was thinking to myself, I said I want to get married. I want to get married to somebody who I'm at least 5 years older than.
Okay.
Now the reason being that you're not going to die at the same time. One person has to go first. And I was thinking, if we are same age, and that means we don't know God, I'm just thinking in my own way at the time. It means that if we die at the same time, my children will just lose both parents. That means we're getting old at the same time and all that. So it's good in life if one person grows older and one person. And I also thought it's good for you to be more matured as a man and marry somebody, younger, so that you can have a bit of more experience, and all that. There's a lot of things that led to that, and I was praying about it as well. But I just felt if you are older as a man, you are more matured, you can look after the other person. Doesn't mean that somebody is younger age, they are not also very mature.
Okay, so Pastor Gombe, let's answer the question now.
Yes.
Is it wrong to marry for a girl to date? Was it date a school teacher or marry a school teacher?
I would say, come on, there are so many other people out there. Why this school teacher?
No, it's
That's against the law. That's against the law.
some of the people also include the teacher.
Why teacher? You have so many. You can imagine the gap there. It's almost like 15 years gap.
No, let's say 10 years, let's say 5 years, let's say 4 years. Because I think there's a reason the person would have asked that question.
Okay, my friend in school got married to one of my lecturers in university.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that is wrong.
Are they happy?
They were happy until the man died anyway.
No, because my lecturers are
Okay, all right. Okay, so the answer is it is not wrong, but he will not recommend. Well, it's not wrong actually, but like I said, that I'm trying not to judge whoever asks the question. There might be a reason why the person asked, because you know teachers are seen as role models. Well, if you've reached the age of maturity, okay, like to 21, 22, then you can make a decision on that, but that's fine. But if let's say the teacher is 25 and then you're 12 or you're 15, you're underage, and that's where we can say that's a red line. But if you're grown, if you're 21, 22, your teacher is maybe 30, I don't know what age. What age gap do you think is okay for? Because Abraham was 10 years older than his wife, Sarah.
10 years.
But
Someone who's in GCSEs, someone who's ending university.
I've seen it. There's people that are like, there's a woman that's
What's the average? What's the age gap you think is okay? How far? How far? The furthest? The furthest?
Yeah, the highest I think is 10.
10 years.
But then I saw someone that was 30 years old. I said, yeah, chill. Someone's 30. The other person is in.
Okay. What about you? What about you?
I feel like when it's really old, like 30 years.
What age gap? What is the maximum age gap you think is? 15. What about you, Angela? 7 years age gap. What about you, Toby?
10 is the maximum.
10. What about you, Esther? Maximum age gap? 10. What about you, Paula? I know you're too young for that. Yeah? 8. Which other guy? Whitney? 7. Okay, let me ask Mama. Thank God, we were missing here. We were talking about, someone asked a question and said, is it wrong for a girl to date maybe to marry her school teacher or someone older than her, way older than her?
Okay, it is wrong. Let me use myself to give you an example because you people have not known my story. When I was 14 years, I was asked to marry my school teacher and I refused. And my father being a catist, you know, they always impose you to marry who they want you to marry them. That one on aside. So when I got to the university, because of the kind of girls I was mixing with, I wasn't a born again. You understand? I wasn't a born again. That's why when people are asking uncle about this relationship, I'm just quiet looking at you because you people are so innocent. You are born again. When I wasn't a born again, I have one friend born again among us, and we used to call her Jew girl, you know, because she's not doing like us. So, so we that think we are hard girls, we all ended up marrying the kind of men we think they are tough men, tough guys, like Pastor Godwin said. We all ended up like that, and I said, oh, me, I was the one, my head, I was very stubborn then. And I said, I can never marry a poor man, you know. So, and I ended up following a man that is very, very advanced than me. You understand me? I wasn't a born again, but we are Catholics. Just like you are. Our parents don't tell us whatever. So, we all that married that age, today we are no longer married.
Okay, so what's the maximum age gap you would recommend between two?
It's good to marry if when I was then 18, I could have married a guy that is highest 24.
So that's how many age gap? That's about 6 years, right? Okay, so 6 years is your maximum.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say if your daughter was to get married, she was 22, 23. What's the maximum age gap you would give her between she and her husband?
If she's in her 20s.
Yeah.
I think the guy shouldn't pass 30.
I can't even do it. Child, that's too old.
In my own case, why I left the marriage was there was a communication break. You know, because I was young and he's not like I'm seeing I'm seeing Regina Daniel in the media now. She's marrying a man who is 65 and she's 18 and she's just showing cards. Then I was Regina. That time I was Regina because I have everything. I have cars, I have servants, I have mansions, I have everything you can think about. You understand? I have everything. When I come to this country for holiday, whatever I touch, I buy because there is money. No, seriously, I'm telling you who I was then. I never, when I married, I was
How
up
did you
there.
learn from her?
Yeah, I was up there. I'll talk with the governors, not when I come down from the car. No, when I come down from the car. Yeah, because my husband was that, you know, they shoot the gun. When we come down sometimes, they shoot gun for us because we're coming down. You know what I understand? Yeah. But you know, when you think the word is there, but when, you know, when communication break down, because now I know different things and he's not looking at what I know like I know.
Yeah.
He's not looking at me, he was looking at me like, at the stage I started calling him daddy. Because we're not communicating, and then he said that he stopped me from talking to all my friends. He has to go through my phone. Sometimes he banned me from driving my cars to work. The driver have to drive me there and wait until I finish. The driver will carry me. Another driver will go and pick my daughter from school, or he will go and pick her. Just because he don't want me to be taken away. He's now suspecting, like,
Yeah.
he said no more color hair, no painting mouth, no trouser, because he's not insecure.
Was he in MFM?
No, he wasn't. And yeah, because I was young. It's like, you know, this one the people are jumping when they see things. Now that's why you see me like this, like humble, like quiet, because it's like a different
God
life
did an amazing
right now.
job. Let's clap for
Yeah.
God. Let's clap for God. You know, it takes the grace of God to change someone who was once been up there. You're still up there, but you understand what I'm trying to say. She's now very humble. God is amazing. He can change anyone. So when she's saying something, I want you to look at her, because she's just a reflection of what you people are now, and you're aspiring to be. I want to be kind of people. So, but you see, she's literally gone ahead to advise you now at this age. So she says, and our recommendation, 6 years is fine. But however, I would still say it all depends. Because, to be honest with you, you might be 20, God's will for you is to get married to someone 10 years or 9 years or 8 years older than you. No, it's your opinion, that's fine, we do respect. But like I said, it's subjective. It depends on the different individuals. Yeah, to me, it doesn't mean anything, whether older or younger, it doesn't mean.
To some people who understand.
Yeah, that's why I say it depends on the people, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I think we have about 10 more questions, so we'll just really rush it. Should we finish it or we'll leave next week?
Let's not drag it to next week again.
Sorry? Should we just finish it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's rush it.
Really rush. Is it a sin if we prefer a man who's rich and wealthy over a man who earns a
It's a birthday party.
No, Stanley's better. No, we're coming to that. He would drown that, that's fine. Stanley, sorry about that, we're rounding up, alright? What did he say?
It's okay, it's alright, it's alright.
He's born again now, it's his birthday. Yeah?
Is it a sin if I prefer a man who is rich and wealthy over a man who earns an average salary?
Well, she's actually just answered the question. It's just basically a repetition of the question. Do you need to understand that money does not give you everything? It does not give you everything. A man might be poor and yet be the person who has what it takes to make a home happy. In fact, the people with the happiest homes in the world are not the richest. There are villages that you go to, the man is poor, the wife is poor, the children are hawkers and they are very happy. They just use nature's things to play with. They go and fetch water down the stream. That's what you should look for, a man who would give you peace. That you feel at peace, you feel healthy, because that is what will make you live long, a peace of mind, not the money. Otherwise, you won't find these celebrities who are rich getting divorced all the time. So don't even go there, just forget about it.
Why are so many models and beautiful girls?
Okay. A quick one. And it's so nice to start a relationship with somebody who has nothing and both of you build a home together. And then you build your finances together. It's so nice. Sometimes when the devil tries to bring in a problem and
you remember your days of little beginnings.
How you started together, how you built the family together, and that makes you even bind together even more.
This one's the one Lamborghini, straight away.
Why are so many models and beautiful girls? Guys. Why are so many models and beautiful girls not married?
because of just what I said. They focus a lot on flashy things. They thought that beauty and money gives everything. You need to understand that the bee or honeybee is not the most attractive insect in the world, but yet it produces the sweetest of all foods. So a person might not look attractive, a person might not look wealthy, a person might not look, but yet God gives that person what it takes to make you happy. Your joy might not actually come from the most, the model or the most handsome person and things like that. I think this Nigerian celebrity and actress, I'm not going to mention her name, was talking on TV how she got married to a very rich man, but then later on discovered he was an occultist. He walks up to the room, and it's a Nigerian actress. She walks up to the room and finds him sitting in the middle of the candle. She never knew. That's because she was following those kind of people, that are the so-called, the flashy in society. Now she's divorced. She's moving about, everyone on television now. That's just basically foolishness. Because if you had followed the path of life, you will discover that the real men that make you happy or real ones that make you happy are not necessarily the richest. So go after character and quality and not after wealth.
Why are so many... No, sorry. How do you feel when you don't receive a message from a loved one?
That's me or...
It has to be.
Okay, well, I don't know because I don't expect love from people, by the way. I don't expect love from people. Like I said, don't have unrealistic expectations. Stop expecting people to give you what they don't have. If Nettie, you love me, I loved you, and you don't text me, I don't mind. It's not a problem. I'm not gonna make it a big deal. When you love someone, prioritize on the advantages you get from that person over the disadvantages. Sometimes when you start focusing on little picky things, those are the things that become bigger, and before you know it, something that wasn't ever an issue becomes a very big issue. You didn't text me in the morning, you didn't say I miss you, you didn't say good night. All these things are not necessary. They are good, that's fine. If you're lucky you get married to that kind of person, beautiful for you, but don't expect people to give you a lot of these things because they might not be able to afford it.
My friend is in a relationship, but I feel like the relationship is one-sided and she is the one showing all the love. Is that right?
No, don't say what your business. Say asking for a question. Hey, it's not a nice thing. Joseph.
No, but if it's her friend.
When you give someone all your love and you don't receive it back, it can mentally destroy somebody. So as a friend, seeing your friend get mentally destroyed, you're not going to sit there and not say anything. Oh. You're not going to sit there and not say anything. If you see your friend being destroyed mentally, you're going to open your mouth. You're going to try and do something to help that friend.
It's a painful thing if you are always one giving love and giving love and giving love from one end. It's very painful. However, I would suggest the friend takes a bit of reflection back and think about it. What if she's thinking about getting married? She should focus. Will she be happy if in a marriage that will continue? If she knows she's certain, she shouldn't pretend. She should just quickly back off before she gets married.
Is it locked? Yeah, but I know. Taking 5 minute break, guys.
We just have a few questions left.
Okay, and what are the things women do that put men off?
Why are you what is this?
You're asking me this question. I think, okay, well, I think it's basically back character. Yeah. Next question.
When is it time to call off a relationship? We answered this already.
We answered already, yeah?
I am a crazy and jealous person when I'm in a relationship. How do I stop this?
Pray. Deliverance. Pray.
Well, you need to find out what makes you jealous. Some people are like that. They're basically jealous. If you see... I think the girls would best answer this. But however, stop being suspicious. Why is witness hand up? Witness hand up. Why is hand up? Okay, being jealous is a result of insecurity. Sometimes when you're insecure, you feel like the guy is talking to another, and sometimes the guy might just be innocent. Let's say you're dating a guy like Joseph like that who likes to hang around. He might not really be... Alright, it doesn't mean anything. Of course, if it's a call for concern, if you feel that the guy is doing things that are making you feel that way, I think you can talk to him about it. But the problem is that when you are jealous, you're only providing an opportunity to someone to do you harm. You're teaching the person how to do harm, especially for girls. When they know that this thing makes you jealous, trust me, if they want to annoy, they will do it so well. That's where you find out when a girl breaks up, the next minute she starts hanging with another guy. She's not doing it because she really wants to hang. She's trying to get to annoy you. So I don't think it's healthy to be jealous in a relationship. I don't think so.
Pray about it. There has been a rise on so-called revenge, and I quote, where couples release each other's private videos. How can we as younger generations avoid falling into these types?
By not sending your videos.
Don't send your videos in. Doesn't matter how, what love or what
What other ways
even if it's your husband, he's seen you. He doesn't need to see it on the
What
camera.
other ways do you want him to avoid it, apart from not sending it in the first place?
People need to understand who's temporary in your life, so you need to be careful what you reveal to them.
Correct. I like the word temporary. Okay, next verse. Next chapter. Next question.
Would you leave your home country for the one you love?
Would I leave my home country for the one I love? What a question. If God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, it's possible. I can't, but I don't know what. Well, how would I leave? Wait, let me try to picture it. Let's say I was in Cameroon and I left the country there and came to England for one I love. Well, if it's my wife, I would do. If it's any other person, I don't think I would necessarily do. Yeah, I should. Actually, I should.
I don't know why you asked this question, but they've said again, what gift would you give us when we get married?
No, skip it. It might be a question.
Do you like gifts, and from whom?
No, uncle does not like it. Doesn't like
If you like a particular person and I pray and ask God to give me that person, can God do so?
If what?
If you like somebody and you pray about it to God and you ask God to give you that person, can God do that?
I think God can, but it depends on your motive. Yeah, I think it's possible for God to give you the person.
That's the end of the questions, guys.